Oh, hello everyone. I just wanted to show my Resident Evil build, which is the entire Spencer Mansion from Resident Evil 1, modeled off the original 1996 version. That means I don't really have any of like the underground caves or like Lisa Trevor places, anything like that. But I did improvise a few sections, which I'll show you as I go along, so also, there's a village right here, but this is a really good spot to build it, so I just decided to keep it, or just build it here. I may just get rid of this village eventually, like with a structure block or something. But anyway, I'm going to show you the whole place. So this is the front. Pretty cool looking, in my opinion. So go in front. This is what I'm going to say is the most iconic room in the entire game because it's the beginning. So yeah, you go in here, you're like, oh, is everyone okay? And then you hear gunfire over there. You're like, oh, I'll go check it out. Chris or Jill, Wester's just sends you off willy-nilly. You come in here, and it's the dining room. You come in here, and Barry's like, the dining room. And anyway, so added candles, From right here is the clock where you get the shield key behind there after you do the crest, the golden crest puzzle. Here's some blood. Bear comes up here, he's like, what is this? Hope this isn't Chris's blood. So yeah, the fire and stuff, and the pot with nothing in it, the windows. Yeah, you come in here. This is I guess called the zombie corridor. You go over here, and it's where you find your first zombie eating Kenneth. He's like on the ground here, dead. Kenneth's dead. And he turns around, and then either you run away or fight him, and then you can collect like 2 handgun bullet clips from him and stuff, and then supposed to be a picture of the mansion and stuff, but yeah. So anyway, and then we'll go here first. You know, here's this tavern, or the piano room. So you find like music notes in here. You like push this out of the way and find music notes, and you come in here. And then if you're Jill, you're already talented and you just play it, or Chris, then kind of dumb and you need Rebecca to do it. And then she also kind of sucks at first few, but then she gets it right. And then this will open up, and then you find the golden crest in here, and you have to replace it with the wooden one out there, and then you swap them. Which gets the shield key from behind the clock. And then, bar. Alright. So now we can go here. And there's just another hallway, and then here, this is the very infamous room where you find the Keeper's Diary right here, and then the zombie jumps out of the closet, and you can find some shotgun shells in here. Yeah, and then some clips on the bed. And here, it's the tiger eye room, the puzzle where it's like the statue of the tiger, and you put the red and blue jewels in its eyes, and it'll like turn and give you a secret item. Get the wind crest from this side with the blue jewel, and then the cult python with the red on the other side. And down here, and also in the remake there's windows, but in the original there's no windows in this room hallway, but it just didn't feel right without windows, so I just put them in anyway. So you go here, this is the little plant room. And the thing about Minecraft is that you have to build with these giant blocks to do rooms, so it's not always exactly accurate, but I did the best I could. But yeah, this giant plant, he smacks the crap out of you if you try to go over there. So you have to bring chemicals and put it in what is supposed to be a pump, and it'll spray it on it and kill it. And then there's also a bunch of green herbs here. And then in the remake, if you do this wrong, you'll kill the green herbs instead. Anyway, it's supposed to be something like a shield statue thing here where you get the arm key, but I didn't have room to build it, but still. And then, of course, that shows the tavern area. Alright. Come over here. Another hallway. This room, the broken shotgun room, I think I could call it. So you find it on the shelf and clip, and then in the actual game, in the original, there's like this room's practically empty. I didn't really like it, so I just added like kind of went with what the remake did and just put a bunch of like old boxes and stuff in here and cobwebs, and then there'd be a desk where you find like shotgun shells or ink ribbons in the remake, and then there'd be like a kerosene. In the remake, there'd be a kerosene thing where you burn the zombies so they don't turn into the badass Crimson Heads. And the pots in there. So yeah, you come down here and then yes, you got the pole there, and then upstairs, and you go in here. Just a little. No, it's just like the save room, not the West Wings, where you originally meet Rebecca in here. She sprays you with the freaking spray, the bug repellent. She's like, ah. Yeah. Cringy dialogue, for sure. And you also get the serum in here to cure Richard or yourself after you fight the giant snake. So, I'm gonna let's go upstairs. And then here's the, it's like free zombies in here all around. And in the remake, there'd be like a way out to a balcony out there to get the collar for the mansion key off the dog. But this is based on the original. And here is the room where you get the red jewel. And then if you go up, you have to turn the light off so you can see the red jewel glowing in the head. And then you go up here, grab it, and you find the little orders here, just like Umbrella's secret notes to the facility and stuff, and added that nice window too, just because. You go in here, and alright, this is the things I added by myself. Like, this is not in the original game or the remake, but I added a little terrace out here just because this layout of the mansion is so like weird. Even, I mean, it's technically supposed to be, you know, because it's supposed to be like a death trap maze, but I just wanted to add this anyway, just to make it feel a little more like logical. And then so yeah, go for here, Nutter Terrace. That's the helipad with the Gending you can see over there. Come down here, and then I'll show you this later, but this door is not actually here in the actual game either. But you go down here. Same with this door. This leads to the dining hall. That's not in the actual game, but I'll show you that later. So come here, and then here is where you find shotgun shells or explosive rounds, and then you find it's supposed to be like a stool where you find like a red padded stool that you find the battery on for the elevator in the courtyard, and it's right there and stuff. Over here, the door is also not in the actual game. I added it. It leads to the front hall. It's the elevator. That's in the real game. It's pretty awesome. A little random offshoot with some herbs in it. And then you go down here. There's the library. So yeah, library, desk here you get some magnum rounds out of, and then this is like a secret room. The shelf will be in the way, you push it out of the way, and then you come in here, and then you find like, you know, ink ribbons and a clip, and then this is where you're supposed to like look out and be like, oh, I see the helipad, but the trees kind of blocked it, but it's alright. You go in here, you find a little scrapbook about, you know, Cerberus attacks happening, and then here, this is that one room where it'd be a statue here, and you have to like push it into the spotlight, and then it would open up this little secret study, and you find the MO disc in there, which you use to unlock the prison room and the lab. And so yeah, and then yeah, this is the doors I was talking about that didn't lead to anywhere. But yeah. And then this is the, you know, balcony and the dining room, and then this is the statue with it has holding a blue jewel, and the diamond's supposed to be like a blue jewel, and then you have to push it off here. You have to push it off here, and it'll break, hit the ground down there and break, and then you get the blue jewel to go to the tiger eye. Alright. Then, there's the second floor balcony, the front hall, goes back to there. Go out here. And then we can, let's go in here first. This is a little, I guess like an art room, technically. And it's supposed to be like, I guess, a giant telescope. Like old giant telescope, and then some kind of mirror thing, I guess, and you find clips there, and then the zombies like hiding behind here, and then a little desk. I guess that's what that's supposed to be. You get stuff out of the shelves, and then you go down here, and this is just I don't really know what this room is. There's like something right here on this wall, but I didn't really know what it was. I tried to make it a bed at first, and then I kind of had to like move the walls around just so I can fit another room in properly, kind of. But I didn't finish it, obviously. But there's a zombie crawling on the ground in here, and then this is a secret room, the special key that you can't get into after you beat the game. You can go in here, and I didn't really do this room, but it's supposed to be a bunch of clothes, and like you can wear it, you change your outfit. So yeah. Now we go here. Another early state room in the game. This is a little statue. It's really supposed to be one statue, but the spacing in this room was odd, so I had to like kind of make it two to look even. But yeah, you push like a step ladder in here, and then you can go up and then grab the map of the first floor. You can go in here. Yeah, you go in here. Go in here, and then there'd be like a dead zombie in here, and then you'd find like a dagger in the remake, but originally you just find ink ribbons. This is a very infamous hallway, because this is the hallway where you're like, oh, what's happening? And then, freaking dogs jump out of the window and try to eat your face. But anyway, yeah. You can push some of these cabinets and reveal some like hidden items underneath them. Like here's herb in the corner, and then out here, just a little place, a little outside section. There's supposed to be a boiler right here, but I forgot to add it, and then some green herbs. And then, yeah, the remake, you find chemicals out here, but in the original, you find it in a storeroom underneath the stairs. Coming up, the bathroom. You're playing as Chris, you drain the muddy water, and then you get like a small key for the desks to get stuff out of them, and then toilet. Out here, and then this is a pretty infamous room. You go in here, and then this would be like a mount where you get a shotgun off the wall, and then if you don't replace it with a broken shotgun, you come out here, and then the ceiling's gonna come down and smash you, and then if you're playing as Jill, you're like, oh, Barry, let me out, and then he lets you out, he frees you, and then he's like, oh, you're almost a Jill sandwich. Just became an iconic Resident Evil movie. So go in here in this room, and I'll show this room first. This is the, I think they call it the Joy of Life puzzle or something. It's basically a bunch of crows in here, and then you have to like, it's like pictures of like a guy for different stages of life, from like from a baby to an old man. You have to press them in order, and then click this one, and it'll like reveal, the painting will move out of the way and reveal the star crest. And if you don't do it right, then the crows are gonna try to attack you. Alright, and here's the little studies where you find the Doom Book 1, which has the Eagle Medal in it. And you need to find like an Eagle Medal and a Wolf Medal to unlock the laboratory entrance, which I'll show you how that works later. So yeah, and it'll be like dark in here, and you put a lamp on to see. And this is another room. The east side stairs going up here, and then this is the storeroom down here. This is where you find the chemicals in the original, and the type save your progress in the store item box there. You come down here, or you go up here, and it's really a lack of like paintings and windows in this area, but I added them because they feel better. Alright, so you go down here, and just the room, and then you go in here, and this is where you find like the researcher's will, and he talks about how he's infected, and he's gonna kill himself because he doesn't want to become a zombie, and then you like, there'll be like I couldn't add much in here because it was kind of small, but there'll be a fish tank, and you push that away, and then get like some ammo from behind it. Or in the remake, you'd, you know, use like the key specimen and like fish hooks, and then you get like a wind crest out of there, which is used for like a puzzle in the graveyard to get the cool python. But that's not in the original. Now, I forgot a room. This room. This is a room where, you know, there's supposed to be 2 beds in here, and they look like there's people underneath it, but you can add that, not much room, but, you know, you get the lighter in here, and stuff, and then you go down here, and, hold on, actually, you know what, it could be more fitting if I made it, like, midnight. There we go, that's creepier. But anyway, this is the room where, you know, you light the fireplace, and then the little paper on the wall would turn into a map, and then you get the map to the 2nd floor. And then here, yes, this is Yawn. This is the snake boss that you fight. Like, in this room, you fight it the 2nd time, and you have to, like, actually fight it. In the 1st room, the attic, you can kind of run around it and get the moon crest and leave. If you're lucky without getting poisoned, but even if you do fight it, it just runs away after a while. But yeah, it's supposed to be on. And then you bite the hole in the floor and go down there, and the little piano and stuff. And then the hole leading to the attic where he comes out of from the fireplace. So you come down here, and then this is where, like, Barry would give you a rope, and then he drops it. And he's like, oh, I'll go grab another rope, and then you can either wait for him or leave, and you'll, like, cause him to die later on because you didn't trust him. This is the Grave Room George Trevor, which is from the remake. It's never from the original, but I still added him. Then you go in here, and now we've made it to the basement. And the basement's pretty uneventful. It's just, and also I didn't make it exactly the same because of weird spacing issues, but it's basically kind of like this. And you go here, and a door here, and then here, and you see zombies eating another zombie here, and then you come down here, and then here, and here's the kitchen. And just, you know, a bunch of very gross and stuff, and then just a zombie right here, and then the elevator going up to the 1st and 2nd floor. You can only go to the basement and 2nd floor with it for some reason. And you go here, and then this is where, like, a zombie, you'd see like a cutscene of a zombie walking down the stairs, and then you turn over here. And then, yeah, so you go up here. There's the elevator, basement, upstairs. Yeah, you remember this. Anyway, so yeah, in here, this leads back to the very first corridor where the zombie was. First zombie was. So, just go ahead and go back to where I was. Yeah, I'll go upstairs. So in here, this room is where you find just the terrace. This is where you find Forrest, like, dead body right here. And then crows would attack you. And if you're playing as Jill, you'd, like, sometimes you'd find Barry out here, or you'd just be alone, and then you'd get, like, the grenade launcher. Or the bazooka, they call it in the original game. But yeah, and you get that from him, and then I think in, like, the director's cut version, Forrest turns into a zombie and, like, tries to attack you. Anyway. Here, and this is the, this is always supposed to be like a very crimson red wallpaper and floor, which I kind of got that down, but yeah, like I said, Minecraft, you're just building giant blocks, and it's kind of hard to make each room distinct, so I kind of had to use the same, like, you know, white terracotta block, but it still looks cool. So anyway, yeah, go in here, and then go in here, and then here's Richard will be here on the floor, and he's like, oh, I need serum. Oh, a giant snake killed me. And then, so yeah, go in here, you get the serum, and then you go in here, and then the zombies here. You go down here to like a weird room. Kind of creepy back here. Just a small dining room. You find ammo in the thing, and then you push a thing out of the way, so I can add it, and then get here, and then in the remake you find the music notes here, but here you just, in the original, you just find like shotgun shells or explosive acid rounds, I think, if you're playing as Jill. Anyway, then you go up here, use the shield key. It's the only key that unlock. It's the only door that requires the shield key. But you go in here, and then this is the attic. This is where you first encounter Jan, and he comes out from behind, out of that hole, and comes out, and then you usually just run around and try to run over here and then grab the moon crest that's in here, and then that of course leads to the other room with him. There would sometimes be like shotgun shells right here and stuff, and then yes. So we go back, and then Richard's dead because he has to die. This room, I had to make this room like distinct because there's enough room for it. But yeah, this is basically the armor room, where in the remake you push the armor stands back in a certain order, but in the original there would be like a button and then vents on the floor, and you have to put like a little statue over them so that poisonous gas doesn't get out, and then it would open this grate, and then you get the sun crest out of here. So yeah. And then here, this is a little office. There's nothing much here, but then you go here. I kind of made this room a little like the remake, but it's still based on the original. And then you go here and you get the book about the herbs and how they function and stuff. And then in the remake you get like a dog whistle and stuff over here for the puzzle that requires it. And then this leads back here to this room. This leads back to this hallway. So yeah, that's basically the mansion. Just gotta make sure I'm still recording. Okay. Alright, so now, once you find all the quests, you can go out here and to this like outside bit, and there'd be like a dog here, Cerberus, you have to kill it or run around it, but then you get to put the 4 crests and like fittings here to unlock the door, and then it would say like, when the sun sets in the west and the moon rises in the east, stars will begin to appear in the sky, wind will blow towards the ground, and then the gate of new life will open. So yeah, you eventually open that, and you go out to the shed. You have to push this, and you get a crank up here. And then we get to the outside section here, and a bunch of Cerberus out here. And then you come out here, and then see this it's supposed to be an elevator, but of course I had to use ladders. But you see, and you're like, oh, I can't get it from here. And then a little map of the garden right there. And when you go down here, this is your reservoir. So you have to go over here and then use the crank here to open like a gate so that the water can drain out that way, and it will reveal the passageway that goes across. Yeah, and then you go over here. There'll be snakes that jump out at you, little snakes. You have to run past them and then go to this elevator. And then you go to this, I guess this is kind of like the main courtyard area, and this is one section I kind of improvised on. I kind of added like a little waterway for here, and then like a little wooden bridge going there, which isn't like that in the original, but I still added it anyway because it looks cool. That leads up to the one. This will be the elevator that you have to power in order to go back and stop the water, and then you can go to the caves. But if you go here first, here, this leads to the guardhouse. And yeah, so you go here, a bunch of Cerberus you have to run around mainly, and then you go in here. And these are supposed to be like blue herbs. You find a bunch of blue herbs right here, and then you go in here. It's the original save room, the guardhouse, bed, first aid up there, item box. This is the dormitory 001 room. And so yeah, it's nothing really much. You find the red book right here that you have to put in a stupid cave sound. You find like a red book here, and you have to like put it in a bookshelf to unlock the secret door to go to Plant 42, which is the giant lamp boss monster. Bathroom where you'd I think this is the one where there's nothing in here, but you like drain the bathtub and you get the control room key that goes to the basement. And then you go in here. It's a little tavern. This is where you find like the 2 spiders in here first time, and these stuff you can collect, and then like little game over there, dartboard, and then the pool table right here. Not too crazy. And you go in here. There'd originally be like a you know, a vine, like a hole in the floor, and a vine would come out and grab you. You had to put a statue over it, but I didn't make that. Another hallway, and then let's go here first. Go back here, maybe get herbs, and then here's room 2. Go in here, the bathroom, zombie, kill it, get some handgun ammo out of here. And just the bed, and then you push this and it reveals the secret ladder that goes to the guardhouse basement. You can go down here, and then this is you have to push like 3 crates to get across this little water section. So that's kind of what it's supposed to be. Although it's a lot more than 3 blocks, of course, but you go in here, and this would be full of water when you first come down here, but I didn't want to add the water. And this is another part I improvised on. Like, I added like a desk here, because in the actual game, this whole basement's kind of empty, and there'd just be sharks everywhere, but I added this just so it looks nice. And then you go in here. This would be a conference room, but this is where you see like the giant roots coming out of here and getting the water for nutrition. At 42. You have to come down here with Rebecca or Jill and use the visual on it to kill it. Go in here, and then there'd be the water tank. It's originally supposed to be broken, but I just made it not broken. So, and this is the control room, so we need that key, and then fish tank. In the actual game it's empty, but I decided to make it nice. This isn't here, but this is kind of like a control room, and then you like press the switches over here to drain the water, and then there'll be a button here that will unlock this door. And then you get the room 3 key, dormitory 3 key here, and then some ammo. And then if you come over this way, there'll be like this would be the giant crack in the tank, and this is where you see it and stuff. So yeah. Anyway. So now we come in here, this is the gallery, technically. And this is the remake, has like, you know, stuff here with them in the middle of it, and the original it's empty. So I guess some of the build is like inspired by the remake, but it's mainly the original. And there's no windows really in the guardhouse, but I added them. And this is the room where you kind of need a pass key to get in, but if you do that, you get in here, and then this is where there'd be like chemicals everywhere, sink with water, and this is where you make the vigil as Rebecca or Jill. And you come out here. This is another section I improvised on. There is no like backyard to the guardhouse, but I added it just because to make it look cooler. So yeah, I added a little fountain, a little water passage this way, this, and I added a little greenhouse over here too, because I thought it would be cool. So yeah, just here, greenhouse, all that stuff. And then here's the room 3 where you use the key. Down here, and then zombie here, fight it, use, and then with the desk here you unlock and you get like ink ribbons out of there. And then in here, like you get the the red book, you put the red book in here, and then you also find like a document about that tells you about the visual. And then once you do that, this would like this bookshelf would move away and where it's from. And then you go and then haha, Plant 42. That's what it looks like. And yeah, you have to kill it, or you know, you get captured by Chris because he's stupid. And then Rebecca's like, oh, got to save you, and make the visual. And then basically after that happens, it like shrivels up, but then it doesn't die actually all the way. And then you have to fight it. And actually, once you kill it, then you get the helmet key for the mansion out from the fireplace, and then you can go here. You meet Rebecca, and then you come here, and then you come here, and then you meet Wesker here, and he's like shooting bees. And he tells you to go back to the mansion. So yeah, so you know, in the actual game, you go back to the mansion after that, getting that helmet key, and then you'd find the hunters, which are basically like reptile-human hybrid monstrosities that are like super OP. But yeah, so then you do that, and then you just go, basically after you've done everything, you find the battery and done everything in the mansion, you come out here, do what you need to do, and then you can come here into past the underground tunnels. And you go here, this is where you find a flamethrower that would lock the door if you take it off, so you have to like put it back on once you leave. But you come here, this room, the remake, there'd be an elevator that goes down to Lisa Trevor, but I didn't add that. There'd be a generator, and here, this is Enrico's room. Basically, you come here and then this is a dead end, but you find Enrico like injured on the floor, and he's like, oh, Umbrella set us up, and then Wesker shoots him, dead, and then, so yeah, you can come back and then you find the crank on the ground here, hexagonal crank, so you can do the open things in the cave. So anyway, you leave through here, go here, and then there'd be like a typewriter usually, and then this would be the hole where you use the hexagonal crank, and you can turn this like whole like section of wall so that you can like get across. And then, hold on, I gotta take a drink. Talking a lot. Alright, so then you come to here, and then you'd be like a giant boulder here, and then you'd come up to it, and then run away, and then it starts moving, so you have to like Indiana Jones and get behind here, and it'll move, and then it'll break this wall down and reveal this another section there. But you come back here, and then you get, I think, magnum rounds out of here, and then a hunter comes through the door, even though it's supposed to be locked, because you know, get the flamethrower. It's supposed to actually supposed to be a flamethrower right here, but it still comes through the door because it's stupid. So yeah, and this is supposed to be a giant boulder to crash through, and go in here, and this is where you fight Black Tiger, which is a giant spider boss. You have to fight him, you kill him, and then you get like you can find like a knife in here, and you have to like cut away all the like webs that are around the door. And so once you do that, you come over here, you put the flamethrower there, and unlock this door. But then over here is where you get the save room, the tunnels, item box, you know, typewriter, and you find ink ribbons and a blue herb in here, I think. So yeah, and then you go here, and then there's another boulder, and the boulder's down here, but you'd have to like, you know, use the crank and turn this whole section, build a secret room, and then the boulder would come, and you have to like run here and stuff, and then go in here, and then you get like a map to the underground, and then a section right here, you find the second ammo disc for the labs, and then the secret room. This is where you get the you have to like push the statue on here, so it'll open this thing up, and you get the Doom Book 2, which has the Eagle medal in it. You have to use this crank to like make this wall push out so that you can get behind the statue and push it that way. So yeah. And then basically once you're done with that, you come down here, and this leads to the lab entrance, which is just like fountain, and you have to put the eagle and wolf metal on this in the fittings on the side, and it'll open up, drain, open up, and reveal the stairs that comes down to the lab. So when you see labs here, and it's the first level, and it's the emergency door that leads to the helipad. It says will not open unless under first class emergency. So you come down here, down here, and you get like an item box without a typewriter in the original, which is just kind of dumb. But anyway, yeah. You come in here, and then be the stairs, and there'd be like zombies in here, and you have to kill them. You get the third ammo disc on this little desk right here, and then there's the visual data room. So you go in here and then put like a slide in here, and it'll show you like the information about like their bioorganic weapons, and then you'd find out Wesker was a traitor. And there'd be like a button here that moves this like giant pillar, and then you get the secret the lab key that's behind here, and you'd find like laboratory information file in that. So you come out here, and then you go to the main, kind of the main level. There's the level 3. Come here, and then go here, and then here's the room we find a note about John and Ada, and how he used their names for his username and password. And then it's like a secret picture, and you have to do a special switch that's behind here to code it to the word, basically, to get the password. So you can use it. You can use the computer, and use the computer to unlock certain doors. But once you do that, you open this door. You go in here, and you find facts on the wall, and then and then this is the ammo disc reader. So you put the ammo disc in there, and it'll give you one of the passcodes to the prison door, which is right here. So there'll be a machine right here. You type 1, you have to get 3 of them, and then you unlock that. But once you do that, come over here, and then you would go in here, and you're like, oh, and then there's the prison, and you either find Jill or Chris in here, depending on who you play as. And then you have to get them out. So yeah, and then you go here, and then you go this way, and here's the this is a computer that you use to unlock the doors, some doors in the lab with the that guy's password. And then this would be just a bunch of lab equipment in here. You come here, and then this is the morgue, and it's supposed to be beds with dead bodies on them and stuff. And then the second ammo disc machine, you put the ammo disc in there, it gives you the second password, etc. And here I just added these generators for fun, and then this thing. And so yeah, so then you come here, and this would be just the operating room, so the operation table stuff. And then you have to do this thing, you have to push these 2 big box over 2 vents, and then push the step ladder in the middle so that it doesn't activate over a button, so it doesn't activate gas. And once you do that, I can't really actually get in there, but that leads to the morgue, and that's how you get to the morgue. There's some green herbs there. Come here, and this is the laboratory, is the save room for the lab. So, of course, typewriter, everything, blue herbs, item box. And this is the power room. This is where you fight the chimeras, I think they're what they're called. But yeah, they're basically these crazy monsters that crawl on the ceiling and can swipe you and kill you. And you have to go over here, and then this would be you do something with this, and it'll send power to the power area, and then you go here, and then in here. Here's the third output machine. You put the third ammo disc in there, and then get the password and stuff, and then here, and then this is where you go, and right here is where you input the power for the elevator that goes to the floor 4, and then this is the self-destruct triggering system activator right there that either Wesker or Rebecca sets off. So yeah, so now you powered the elevator, and then you go over here, and here's the elevator. You meet, like, powered on, and then Barry or Rebecca will come and meet up with you, and then you both go down here, and then you go here, and then this is where you meet Wesker, and he's like, you know, pointing a gun at you, and then he's gonna like show you the tyrant. Let's go here, and then this is where the tyrant is, and he breaks out of there and kills Wesker, and then you like have to run around here and keep shooting it until it's dead, and then you can leave. And then if you're playing as Jill, you come out here, and then all of a sudden an alarm go off, and you're like, oh, Wesker set off the self-destruct system, and then you have to leave. Or as Chris, you come here, and then it's like Rebecca's like, oh, we should blow this place up. Yeah, she's kind of dumb. Anyway, self-destruct system's off, and then this is where you can kind of go and save Chris or Jill from the prison, because it's like unlocked now. But then you come up here, and yeah, and go here, and then this door's open now because it's an emergency. So you run, and then Brad calls on the radio. He's like, oh, I'm running out of fuel. It's last chance to get help. So we go, the battery, power up this elevator, and then you go up the elevator, which this leads to the helipad. This is the helipad right here, and this is where you signal Brad, and he flies over, and then the tyrant breaks out of the ground, and then you have to like fight him, and then he runs at you, and then eventually Brad drops the rocket launcher down, and you have to pick it up and then shoot it, and then it dies, and then he picks everyone up and flies away, and that's the end, and then you can watch the whole estate explode. So yeah, that's basically my whole build of the Spencer Mansion from Resident Evil 1. Pretty proud of it. I think it's pretty cool. Especially love the mansion part, like the outside. It's just so nice. Anyway, hope you enjoyed.